We recently took a road trip to the Sunshine State.
We made it to Florida.
Our journey took us to Southwest Florida in Lee County to stay with family on the beautiful Sanibel Island, the Seashell Capital of the world. Sanibel Island is still recovering from Hurricane Ian, which happened in September 2022. Our trip was almost 2 years later to the day, as we were there in September 2024. One of our favorite activities is to visit the incredible Jay Darling National Wildlife Refuge. We really enjoy the Wildlife Drive, which is only $10 per vehicle. It's a 4-mile drive. You can also hike or bike through Ding Darling. There are 3 trails you can access. Our favorite times to go through the Wildlife Drive is morning and around sunset. Those seem to be good viewing times for wildlife activity and good photography opportunities. Low tide is the best time to visit.
Yeah, wildlife viewing is all about, you got to have good luck, timing. And a lot of times when you're at a state park, a national park where they have wildlife, they say best viewing times are morning and at dusk, so dawn and dusk.
Or high noon.
But today's high noon right now, and we're doing pretty good. Can't wait to see.
You have to throw patience in there.
You have to throw patience in there.
We've seen people kind of, I would say zooming.
Oh, they're going fast.
Yeah, they're going pretty quickly, and
we're taking our good old time. It's
slow down.
We're taking the 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour.
Ding Darling is part of the largest undeveloped mangrove ecosystem in the United States. It's also world famous for spectacular migratory bird populations.
Almost looks like a postcard. Wish you were here. Sanibel Island, Florida. Ding Darling. All right, they do have a tram through J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge. So that's something new that they didn't have before. I don't know if the tram's running right now because we are here off season. But look, you can do rentals, kayaks, canoes, bikes, Hobie kayaks, pontoon boats, paddle boards. And right now actually is a slow time of year, September. Everybody's back to school. And a lot of the business owners are closed down here in Sanibel Island in Southwest Florida. But here is J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge. Day use only. Wildlife Drive is closed on Fridays. Here where we work. Hey, what do you think?
It was amazing.
That was amazing.
Yeah, we can do it again.
Yeah, we want to definitely go at sunset.
Yeah.
All right, let's go inside. Let's get cool. And you have America's best restrooms and water. How about that? I like that. I like that confidence, okay?
I like the shade.
You like the shade too. Yeah, it's really warm. And we're not used to it. We were just in Charlotte 2 days ago. We got up and it was 57 degrees. We were like, wait, we didn't bring any jeans. We didn't bring any sweatshirts. You don't need them down here in Sanibel, Florida.
So America's best restroom.
Oh yeah, this way. That's right. Hi. Oh wow, look at this. The manatees. Okay, look at that. And look at the ducks on the ceiling. How cool is that? With their feet. That is pretty cool. There's art on the ceiling. Yes. Is that a jellyfish? They did a great job here. This is neat. Normally I don't film restrooms, but I just had to show you this. This is really impressive. Look at that. It really is America's best restroom. That was not just a gimmick. They really did get America's Best Restroom Award. 2018, J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge. Pretty neat. These are all the recent sightings. Well, we did see the Florida manatee. We did not see any bobcats. We did not see any coyotes, although some were spotted. And we did not see the American alligator. But they're there. Okay, so we paid $10 to drive through. Was it $10, I think?
Yes.
And this part is free. So let's go check it out. Okay, come in.
Thank you.
Look at this view. Beautiful.
That's cool. That's neat. Hello.
How are you?
Welcome. Is it your first time here?
I was here in '86 and I saw a big crocodile. And he said there were some manatee sightings. We did see them. They were at Wolford.
Wolford Keystro?
Yes, that you walk all the way to the end, and then we just, and then
That was a good imitation.
She said it just popped out, and then we waited another 10 minutes, and he went right up, but then he came back again and did a little circle. So I think we have it on video. It's hard though when the sun's like right over you trying to film.
Screen
But
just so
yeah, that's the first time I saw
black,
it. And why is low tide the best time?
So it was good.
Because that's when usually the wading birds are out, and that's usually when all the wildlife.
Oh, okay. So he said the best time to visit is during low tide for wildlife viewing.
Before I saw
So today is
The roseate spoonbill.
Yes, I didn't see
Wednesday,
it.
Yeah, usually.
and low tide is going to be at 6:26 p.m.
Because right now it's really hot.
Yeah.
Most of the wildlife won't be out because it's so hot. There, it talks a little bit about Ding Darling himself.
Okay.
But I believe they people just called him Ding.
It's like a nickname. That's
Yeah,
what I
it was a
figured.
nickname.
Yeah.
It was a nickname for him, and it just stuck.
It stuck,
with him.
yeah. That's cool.
And then we just named it after. Let me double check. But
If I might, because my dad bought it he was $50. We used that park. We went to Maine, Acadia.
We went to
You remember
Acadia.
that? And the guy asked him, and he said, "I've had this since I was like 50 some years old."
Right.
He ended up using it all the way to his 92nd year.
sorry, it's 62 or over.
Okay, so I'm not old enough yet. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
what's
man.
the regular password?
A regular pass here. The regular pass, the annual pass is $80.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's the same
Yeah.
same cost.
That's cool, and that's good for any.
What I like to tell people, if it has national in
the name?
front of it,
name.
Okay.
then you'll be granted access
Awesome.
to it.
Okay.
And it's not just like national wildlife refuges or national parks. It's all like government-owned
Okay.
entities.
That's
so
cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's like buildings.
Yep. Oh,
anything
really?
like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's something to consider.
I'm gonna definitely think
Yeah,
about that.
that's
Thank you so
neat.
much. All right, here at the visitor center. I love these guys. We didn't see any. Is this the man? This is J.D. Darling.
Here he is.
J.N., not J.N. Ding Darling.
J.N. Ding Darling, renowned cartoonist and pioneering conservationist. Darling's many lasting contributions to the conservation of our nation's natural resources include the establishment of this National Wildlife Refuge. So it says he was a sportsman and an editorial cartoonist for the Des Moines Register. And here are some examples of his work. Here's a cartoon he drew in 1923 and was awarded the Pulitzer Prize.
You know, we're picking weeds vintage, and look at these old fishing reels and the tackle box and the shoes, boots. I love stuff like this. Look at the old decoys. How about these old field glasses, Kay? Wow. Pretty cool. How about this gun? This punt gun. Wow. That is a long gun. I love the selfie station. Hashtag selfie with Ding. That's cool. How many of you recognize that gentleman and former president? Talk about doing a lot for national parks. Thank you, Uncle Teddy. Yeehaw. You heard of the duck stamps? Well, Jay and Ding Darling was very instrumental in guiding the funding for the Migratory Bird Hunting Stamp Act through Congress, and he sketched his concept for the first federal duck stamp. And is this it right here? And if you couldn't see it there, there's an oversized stamp. Wow. That is very cool.
This is neat. This is a lasting legacy. One of the most successful conservation programs ever is the duck stamp.
How many of you collect duck stamps? Leave in the comments if you have a collection of duck stamps and how long you've been collecting. Here's the Darling from 1934. Started it all off. Here's the 2023.
98 cents of every dollar spent on duck stamps have purchased over 5.9 million acres of wetland habitat on national wildlife refuges.
I always think of my dad. He had a collection of duck decoys. They're really nice, hand-carved, wooden, painted. There's the wood duck drake, 1975. I always like the wood ducks. They're so pretty. They have such pretty feathers. But isn't it true that the males are more colorful than the females? Ooh, look at this one.
That's my favorite.
I love this. This is the 1987 Atlantic Puffin Drake. HR, puffin stuff. Who's your friend when things get tough? This cracks me up. They do have a presentation, a short film, but right now they're not running it.
Wildlife protection and
Or maybe they are.
managing land and water. Support for research.
These are the annual photography contest winners, and the blue ribbon first place goes to Heidi Dirksey, Looking for Love, Wolverine, Michigan. Wow, these are beautiful pictures.
We need to go out and take more pictures.
I know.
And these are the submissions for the Theater Cross High School Photography Contest.
Prepare for Florida weather with sunscreen, in the winter season.
Very impressive. Oh, best friends.
These are just so beautiful.
This wall features the designs for the Florida Junior Duck Stamp Contest winners. Some talented kids.
And these are the Group 1 winners, grades K through 3rd. We've got the first place right up here. It's great to get young people involved in conservation, and they have the Children's Conservation Cartoon Contest. And I really like some of these. Here's first place Dunbar High School, Jennifer Cedeno. Harmless to you, deadly to them. Preston Trenesty. Second place, 11th grade, Estero High School. There's the Sanibel Lighthouse. And first place, looks can be deceiving. Stop Ocean Pollution. Hunter McDaniel from Estero High School. Well done, gang. Way to go. Keep up the great work. This is recycled art. And these are plastic newspaper bags. Look at that. Wow. A dress and a handbag, all made from plastic newspaper bags. I know the orange ones, but I've never seen the other colors. That's fantastic. Here's made with the masks during COVID. Single-use disposable face masks and soda pop tabs. How about that dress? If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. The Dalai Lama. Ah, there's a good quote. This talks about the legacy of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Here's a hand-carved, hand-painted osprey. I think that's an osprey. Look at that. Fish in his talons.
Build a bird. Can you build a bird? Use the cutout shapes to invent a bird. What kind of food does it eat? Now look at his feet. Does it wade or swim? Would your bird be at home on Sanibel Island, or is it just a silly bird? Let's give it a shot.
Okay, you've heard about build a bear, but here's build a bird. Can you build a bird?
I'm gonna try.
Okay, Kate's gonna try. Well, that's a good start. I think she's building the white ibis. All right, Kay. What'd you build?
An ibis.
I'd be impressed. I think this is what we saw today when we walked down the Wolfert Trail. That's a manatee and her, what do they call it? Not a cub. Is it a pup? And here we have the skeletal system of a manatee. That's interesting. We did not see the American crocodile, but here he is.
No, I'm at 5%.
There's the skeleton of an alligator living with dinosaurs. Learn about the reptiles that walked with dinosaurs. You can see the shape of the American alligator's head is different than the American crocodile. Oh, I love bobcats. I think they're so cool looking. That's a pretty big size animal for a cat. We didn't see any. We looked for them.
See any?
Yeah. All right, and then they have the merch shop right here. Hello, how are you?
Welcome to the nature store.
Oh, thank you so much for your hospitality. We decided to do the drive first because when we got here, it was 10 o'clock. We wanted to see everything in the morning sun, so.
Yes.
Oh, wow, look at that one.
I like that. I like that.
That is very cool. And this is a new area we're going to do. It's called the Roost. I believe it's going to be an outdoor seating area. Wow, that was a lot of fun. Did you have a good time?
I did.
We highly recommend that you come here to J.N. Ding Darling Wildlife Refuge Center in Sanibel Island, Florida. Hey, if you enjoy these videos, don't forget to bop that like button and give us a follow, as it helps us bring you more episodes just like this one. In the meantime, I'm Mighty Mike.
And I'm Kay.
Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy picking, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.